One Piece has some of the best villains in anime. From Doflamingo to Rob Lucci to Blackbeard, Oda knows how to write characters that are menacing, layered, and unforgettable. But not every villain hits the mark. Some were boring, weak, or just straight up disappointing. So these are the top 5 worst villains in One Piece history. Number 5, Hody Jones. I thought Hody Jones was going to be the new Arlong, but instead he ended up being a watered down version of him. He was basically Arlong but louder, with none of the intimidation, charisma, or character. His entire personality revolved around being this ignorant follower, but somehow he still managed to make that boring. Even his goals didn't make sense. He wanted to destroy humans, rule Fishman Island, and take down the world above, all while being powered by fishy steroids. And even with those, he still lost badly. Let's be honest, Hody Jones wasn't scary, he wasn't deep, and he definitely wasn't fun to watch. Number 4, Caesar Clown. Now Caesar Clown was evil, but in the goofiest way possible. He's like if Joker was a chemistry teacher who failed his own experiments. He wasn't a terrible character, he actually had some funny moments, but as a main villain he just didn't hold up, especially coming right before Doflamingo, one of the most iconic villains in the series. Caesar was basically the mad scientist cliche. Cruel, arrogant, and way too confident for how often he got beat up. He was fine comedic relief later on, but as the big bad of Punk Hazard, he just wasn't strong enough to carry the story. Number 3, Don Krieg. Don Krieg, the admiral of 50 ships filled with fodder. He came in talking like he was Kaido, but got one-shot by Mihawk before he even knew what happened. He was meant to show how dangerous the Grand Line was, but honestly, he just showed us how weak him and his pirates really were. His goal was to conquer the Grand Line, which sounds impressive until you realize the guy couldn't even handle one restaurant. Don Krieg had the look, the weapons, the army, but none of the menace. Just another loudmouth who couldn't back it up. Number 2, Wapol. Wapol's devil fruit was so creative. The man can eat anything and combine it with himself, but somehow, Wapol still managed to be one of the most boring main villains ever. He was greedy, selfish, and a total coward. His whole character boiled down to, I want everything because I'm the king. He wasn't threatening, he wasn't deep, and he definitely wasn't entertaining. The good news, Oda eventually found a better use for him later in the story, but as a main villain, Wapol was just a waste of potential. Number 1, and finally, Axe Hand Morgan. To be fair, Morgan was one of the very first villains in One Piece, so I don't hold it against him too much, but he was basically just a stepping stone to get Luffy's journey started and to introduce Kobe and Helmeppo. So in that way, I guess he played his part. He was supposed to be this big, scary marine captain abusing his power, but in reality, he was just a weak tyrant with a strong shin. He wasn't threatening, he wasn't memorable, and he got taken down before you even learned about him. And now, his coward son is more relevant than him. Some of these characters had potential, but One Piece has set such a high standard for villains that these ones just couldn't keep up. Who do you think is the worst villain in One Piece? Comment below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.